皆さんこんにちは。世界の目に映る日本を覗いていく霧島メイです。今回は日本を訪れた海外の皆さんが富士山を見た瞬間の反応を見ていきます。写真や映像では何度も見たことがあっても、実際に目の前に現れた富士山ってやっぱり全然違うんですよね。その大きさとか美しさとか静かな迫力に思わず言葉を失う人もいれば、子供みたいにはしゃぐ人もいます。それでは世界の人たちの目に日本の富士山はどのように映ったのでしょうか。実際の反応を見ていきましょう。
You guys, we just found the most perfect viewing point of Mount Fuji, and the best part is that it's free. So check it out. I mean, what? It's not packed. Look over there. Literally, there's barely anyone here.
Right now I'm in Tokyo, Japan, and as you can see, I'm at a viewing point. Now, you may be wondering, why are you at a viewing point? Well, guys, look what is in front of you. Mount Fuji. What a masterpiece. Look how beautiful that is. Are you crazy?
If you have ever considered visiting Mount Fuji, let this be your sign. I swear today was genuinely one of the best Fuji. And guys, this view was absolutely breathtaking. Obviously, it was super busy, but we actually got some really good photos. And genuinely, I just could not stop pinching myself. Like, it is such a surreal moment seeing this view for the first time.
いやー、私もこんな綺麗な富士山を見たくなっちゃいました。続いては奇跡みたいなタイミングで富士山を見られた人たちの反応を見ていきましょう。
I've just found the nichest place to see Mount Fuji. So tomorrow's planning to go to Mount Fuji for a day trip. I don't think I need to anymore. Look at this. She is right there. In plain sight. Stunning.
Vlog do dia que eu fui pedida em casamento, com o plano de ter conseguido ver o Monte Fuji 100% visível, já que da última vez foi mais ou menos assim. Pra dar certo, dessa vez eu me hospedei em Kawaguchiko e acordamos às 5 horas, porque eu queria muito pegar o amanhecer, que é a melhor hora pra ver ele. E essa foi minha reação ao ver o Fuji-san através da janela do arco-íris. Eu já tava em choque com a beleza. Aí eu fiquei mais animada ainda e não queria me atrasar. Então eu corri e montei o primeiro look que eu pensei. E literalmente saímos correndo, pegamos um táxi pra chegar mais rápido possível. E é claro que nessa hora eu não fazia a menor ideia que eu ia ser pedida em casamento. Eu tava muito focada no Fuji-san. E acho que isso deixou tudo melhor, porque fui pega de surpresa. Me emocionei tanto que eu quase não conseguia falar o sim. Aliás, o vídeo completo do pedido tá no feed, se quiser ir lá. E meu Deus, a ficha não tava caindo, principalmente porque eu tava realizando 2 sonhos ao mesmo tempo. Eu tava com...
すっごく素敵な映像でしたね。私もちょっとあんなプロポーズされてみたいです。でも実際はあんな綺麗な富士山が見られる日ってそんなに多くないみたいです。だから海外の皆さんも少しでも綺麗な富士山を見るためにいろいろ工夫しているみたいですよ。それでは次にそんな富士山を見るための工夫を見ていきましょう。
Did you know that Mount Fuji is only visible clearly on approximately 80 days of the year? Last thing you want is to get to Mount Fuji and not actually see the mountain. Here are 3 tips to make sure you see it in all its glory. Tip number 1. Start checking weather and visibility apps a week before your trip. Keep monitoring right up to your travel day. Tip number 2. Plan for some flexibility in your itinerary. Make sure your accommodation can accommodate last-minute changes if you are staying just for one night. If the forecast looks grim, you can always reschedule. Tip number 3. Don't just stick to the popular spots. There are quieter places like Yamanakako where you can enjoy the view without the crowds.
私は2つ目の方法はやったことないですけど、でもそれ以外は結構参考になりましたね。ただ、どれだけ準備してもどうにもならない時ってありますよね。次はそんな状況で悟りを開く人や逆にブチギレる人たちを見ていきましょう。
Eu viajei quase 3 dias para ver o Monte Fuji e... Cadê o Monte Fuji? Era pra ele estar aqui atrás, mas não dá pra ver absolutamente nada. Acontece, né? Não dá pra prever tudo.
Look, this is Mount Fuji right here, feel me? The Lawson Fujiwaka Guchika Town Hall. I'm in front of that area right now. Where's the mountain? Did they erase the mountain? How much clouds is there? How much clouds is there? Yo, bro, how big is that mountain then, gang? I'm in front of the same place, gang. Bro, this is the same place, gang. Where is the mountain, bro?
いや、怒りすぎでしょって言いたくなるんですけど、ちょっと気持ちわかるんですよね。皆さんだったらこういう時って感情を抑えられますか？ちなみに私はこうなったらとりあえず何かを買って気持ちを紛らわせます。直したいんですけどね。続いてはある時期から急に話題になったあの場所に海外の観光客が押し寄せる様子を見ていきましょう。
I'm in Tokyo and I really wanted to go see Mount Fuji, but it's only visible 80 days out of the year. But I risked it and got on a train and boom, there it was staring right at me. I was so shocked. Normally I don't have the best luck when it comes to things like this. So the first location on the itinerary was to go to the viral Lawson. You know where everyone gets that iconic IG pic? Well, I tried to get one, but then the clouds started to come in, the Fuji was disappearing, there was buses everywhere, cars, people. It's obviously not a set, a real place. So if you want to come here without people, I reckon get here at 4 a.m. We actually went into the Lawson for some breakfast and I got the strawberry and cream sandwich.
Biggest mistake when you day trip to Mount Fuji. Everyone knows the famous Honcho Street in Shimiyoshida. It's that iconic shot with Mount Fuji perfectly framed in the background. But here's the truth. It's crowded, everyone's fighting for the perfect photo, and worst of all, there's even a traffic controller shouting at you if you step on the road.
こうして観光客の方々がたくさん集まるようになって、2024年5月にはとうとう自治体が動く事態にまで発展したようで、当時は国内外でもかなり話題になりましたよね。
Mount Fuji is one of Japan's most iconic landmarks, and in recent years, social media has made photographing it even more popular. But that's created a bit of a problem for residents of Fujikawa, Guchiko, a town with an incredible view which is being swamped by millions of tourists. Residents have now decided they've had enough, and to keep the selfie crowds away, they're taking the unlikely step of putting up a huge barrier to block the view.
You need to take this iconic Lawson off your Mount Fuji itinerary as they are raising a huge barrier to block the view of Fuji soon. The Kawaguchiko government is tired of tourists and their behavior. This barrier will be 2.5 meters or 8 feet high and will span 20 meters, the length of a cricket pitch. Apparently, some tourists leave trash and disrupt the flow of traffic because the Lawson is located right in front of a busy street. They'll begin constructing this barrier from next week, so this is probably the last weekend you'll get to see an unblocked view of Fuji from this iconic Lawson in Kawaguchiko.
Let me give you a look around where we are right now. This is the very spot where the coveted Mount Fuji Lawson picture is taken. If I can just come closer, you can see Lawson over here, and on a sunny day when there aren't many clouds, you'll see Mount Fuji on top. Now, there are so many places that you can take a picture of Mount Fuji, but this has become the money shot, the viral shot, if you will, selfie central for so many of the visitors that come here and want to get that exact frame. And this is where they get it from, across the street. And this has caused a great deal of disruption for locals here because yes, this is a tourist attraction area, but also many locals are going about their business, going to school, walking their dogs, running their errands. And this is a two-way road where there is a lot of traffic. One big complaint is that people jaywalk and that could cause accidents, but also littering all over, and that is a big no in Japan. So if I could take you a bit closer, what's going on is, if you look at that builder there, they're constructing that wall now, they're putting the poles in place, and essentially the screen is going to be there to block the view and to prevent people from taking that picture. What's interesting, of course, is that when this announcement happened to prevent, on the screen, to prevent more people from coming in, it brought a lot of media attention to this little town. So if you look around, there's actually a crowd of cameras, but it's so many media outlets, both local and international, that are now covering this story. So it's a meta moment where you get the tourists taking pictures of the media, filming them. This is the kind of attention this town has brought. They're hoping that this screen is going to prevent people from crowding in the area. Some are not so sure that this is the solution. We've actually spoken to a couple of locals who are saying it's a shame that you block a view as beautiful as Mount Fuji. We want people to come, but we also don't want the disruption to our lives.
Massive black screen that's been put up in a Japanese town to stop tourists taking photos of Mount Fuji now has holes in it, and they're just big enough to fit a camera lens through. Fujikawa Guchigo spent over $6 grand on an 8.2 feet high net to block one of the best views in the world. It seems odd, but the town's had a major problem with tourists since a picture went viral a few years ago where it looks like Mount Fuji sits on the roof of a local convenience store. People have been flocking to recreate it, but locals have been complaining about them blocking paths, standing in the middle of dangerous busy roads, and crossing into their properties. So they put up this 20-meter long screen. But Japanese officials have already found 10 holes at eye level that are the perfect size to fit a camera lens through. So is the screen a good solution?
動画にもあったように設置後1週間で何箇所も穴が開けられる事態になり、7月にはより網目が細かくて丈夫な茶色いシートに張り替えられる事態になったようです。ちなみにその設置費用は黒い幕だけでなんと130万円。そんなお金をかけて作った幕も8月には台風の影響で外すことになったようです。でも外してすぐはあまり人が来なかったので幕はなしで試してみることになったようです。
ね、白くて。はいはいはい。危ない危ない。横断歩道横断歩道横断。大きい大きい大きい。ああ危ない危ない危ない。
警備員さんが頑張ってくれていますが、事態は一向に変わりません。ついに私たちの大好きなイベントにも被害が。
Well, I hope you're happy, because Japan just canceled its biggest cherry blossom festival because they're scared of tourists. Residents have reported that tourists have been trespassing, opening private homes to use the bathroom, and get this, literally defecating in people's gardens. I think we all know this isn't the first time we've seen this. Tourists have done stuff like carving their name on the torii gates and doing pull-ups on them and blasting music and dancing on the trains. I used to give people the benefit of the doubt saying, well, Japan is really different, I know, so it's a lot to learn. But chasing geishas down the street or carving your name on a torii gate or maybe like taking a dookie on people's property, by that point, it's not even culture shock. That's just unhinged behavior. To be fair, most tourists that I've seen are fine, but the few that aren't, you need your passport taken away and a mandatory course on how to not be a crappy tourist, literally, because you're not funny.
ちょっと嫌な気持ちになっちゃった方がいたらごめんなさい。もちろん、ルールを守って日本を楽しんでくれている海外の皆さんもたくさんいます。気を取り直して次は本気で富士山を愛している海外の皆さんを見ていきましょう。
Let's talk about the curse of Mount Fuji, because it's my favorite curse to ever exist. Anybody who visits Japan is automatically cursed by Fujisan. And this curse says that if you leave Japan without hiking Fujisan, that you'll be called to return over and over and over again until you hike the summit. Many people who visit Japan experience this overwhelming feeling to return, and that is the curse of Fujisan. There's actually a lot of people who refuse to hike to the summit because it means that they will break the curse and that they'll never have that feeling to return back to Japan.
Japan's tallest mountain, Mount Fuji, and it was epic. The base, that's really high, and the mountain looks very daunting from here. But right when we started hiking, we saw this rainbow, which made everything better. After about 3 hours of hiking, we were officially above the clouds, and it made for some incredible views down below. And 4 hours in, we made it to this hut where we are going to be spending the night. When we arrived, we were served hot rice and fresh Japanese curry. It was so cold at this point, and this was the perfect meal after a long hike. We used Google very early, 1 o'clock in the morning, to try try and get to the summit for sunrise. It took about 3 hours to get to the top, and this was our view. It was 100% worth it waking up early for this, and the views just got better and better. There are a few huts up here at the top as well, and this one serves hot ramen. We visited a shrine up here, and since it's Japan, they even have a vending machine at 12,000 feet. We then admired this beautiful shadow of Mount Fuji before making our way back down the mountain. And yes, this is the proper way to do it. The lava rock sand is so soft and it makes it easy to run and skip down the mountain.
ここまで見ると富士登山ってめちゃくちゃ楽しそうですよね。仲間と笑いながら登って綺麗な景色を見て山頂で達成感を味わう。日本旅行の中でもかなり特別な思い出になりそうです。でもここからが富士山の大変なところなんですよね。遠くから見る富士山って本当に綺麗なんですけど、実際に登るとなるとかなり体力を持っていかれます。しかもただ歩くだけじゃないんですよね。寒さとか眠気とか空気の薄さとか終わりの見えない坂道とか、最初はテンション高かった海外の皆さんも登っていくうちにだんだん無口になっていくんですよね。それではここから富士登山のちょっと過酷な一面を見ていきましょう。
How we got to see the most beautiful sunrise. We decided to climb Japan's tallest mountain, Mount Fuji, because how hard could it be? Turns out very hard. Once we finally got settled in the hut, it started pouring rain, like aggressively. The idea was to start climbing around 12:30 in the morning to be able to reach summit by sunrise. We waited a while to see if the rain will let off, but it was not stopping. At this point, multiple people have left already, so we decided to start climbing around 1 a.m. And that's when Mount Fuji turned the knob from rain to thunderstorm. The wind almost knocked me down, plus adding thunder and exhaustion almost made us call the rescue chopper. We took many stops along the way, but we kept going, one slow, painful step at a time. And then the sun started peeking through. Suddenly it was quiet, peaceful. It was the most beautiful thing I have ever seen, and I was filled with emotion. The sunrise healed me in many ways. Unfortunately, we did not make it to the summit for the sunrise due to the weather condition, but I wouldn't have it any other way. It was just the two of us watching the sunrise together. Now at this point, we decided to start making our way down the mountain instead of continuing to summit, since the climb down is another battle we'll be facing. The climb down was not as bad as going up, but it was still hard and we both almost fell. When we finally made it to the bottom, there were people doing interviews. So somehow, after surviving Mount Fuji, we ended up on the local Japanese news.
Everyone agrees that this is the best Fuji souvenir. It's the only reason why I'm hiking Fuji.
This is me before climbing Mount Fuji. You gonna talk? No. This is me before climbing Mount Fuji.
This is me before climbing Mount Fuji.
This is me before climbing Mount Fuji.
Okay.
This is me before climbing Mount Fuji.
This is me before climbing Mount Fuji. This is me before Mount Fuji.
This is me before Mount Fuji.
Raw dog Mount Fuji. Because listen, the hike starts off stunning, beautiful, fantastic. You have all these cute mountain huts along the way. But then you remember Mount Fuji isn't just a mountain, it's a volcano. Actually, it's 4 volcanoes. And I think the worst part is there are literal 80-year-olds breezing past you like they do this every week. 80-year-olds and corgis, apparently. And what do I mean by raw dogging? I mean climbing up and down the mountain in one day. See, a lot of people sleep at one of the cabins near the top, and we're trying to speed run this shit. But does this look like the face of a girl who successfully did that? No, it looks like a girl who did not bring enough coins to use the toilets up here. And mountain can feel like a tourist attraction with ropes and stairs and signs. It can go from this to this in a few seconds. This is a mountain not to be trifled with. Seriously, some people come up and do not come back down, which is probably the worst part because you use all your energy to get up. But going back down is literally skiing through volcanic rock, which is probably why they say a wise man climbs Fuji once and only a fool climbs it twice.
This is why hiking Mount Fuji in Japan is overrated. Mount Fuji is one of the most iconic mountains in the entire world, and it actually opens up to hikers for 2 months from July to September. So I thought it's a must-do activity while I was in Japan last summer, but unfortunately the mountain is totally overcrowded. The accommodations on the mountains are limited and sold out months in advance, so like many other people I had to hike overnight without sleep. The temperatures were freezing, and near the end we couldn't even continue walking to warm up because there were so many people that we literally had to wait in line to reach the top. On that day we were lucky to catch a good sunrise, but the views weren't too spectacular compared to other mountains I hiked before. And in summer it also rains quite a lot, so there's a chance you're gonna have a cloudy view and don't see that much, which happened to other travelers I met on my trip. The hike down was a bit slippery and also not really exciting as well. So I think Mount Fuji is best to be admired from afar during the winter month. If you're coming to Japan in summer, then I think there are better activities you could do instead.
They stuck their samurai sword in our arm!
Our dark horse for the 2026 FIFA World Cup is Japan. Really?
Channel 登録お願いね。チャンネル登録ね。